An evening of severe thunderstorms have transitioned now into an evening of flash flooding rains. I have the very latest rainfall estimates and where those storms are right now.
And President Trump announces a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. How Madisonians with connections to the Middle East are reacting to the conflict.
Plus, hometown USA is experiencing a population boom. We'll look at what's behind the growth in Verona. That's all coming up on News 3 now at 10. Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sarah Carlson.
And I'm Eric Franke. Heavy rain continues moving through parts of southern Wisconsin tonight.
And there's currently a flash flood warning in effect for Dane, Grant, and Iowa counties. Here's a look at some standing water you can see at the intersection of Gammon and Watts Road on Madison's west side. The National Weather Service says the impact will extend to highways, streets, underpasses, along with poor drainage and low-lying areas. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington joins us now with the latest on tonight's storms. Alex.
Right. Let's take a look right now here. Rainfall estimates anywhere between 1 to 4 inches across much of the WISC viewing area, especially for areas Monroe, Janesville, up towards Jefferson and areas to the north and towards the west. Also getting social media reports of upwards of 4 inches of rain in parts of southwest Wisconsin, where Sarah was just mentioning we have flash flood warnings in effect for the west part of Dane County, Iowa County, right along U.S. Highway 151 down towards Mineral Point, and then also the Platteville area until 10:45 p.m. Right now, flash flooding is either going to start or will very likely occur. And we're going to take a trip here. 4.5 inches of rain over the course of really a very short period of time, over a few hours or less, along 151 Platteville and Elk Grove up to the Belmont area. Mineral Point reports of flooding and water over roadways. Going up 151 here to Dodgeville towards the Barneville area, about 4 inches estimated here, and approximately 3 inches on the southwest side of Madison, with anywhere between 2 to 4 inches across a good portion of Dane County. And because of this, with the continuation of moderate to heavy rainfall across southwest Wisconsin, we're going to probably add another ½ inch to an inch in areas that have already seen heavy rainfall and flash flooding conditions. That line of showers and thunderstorms, non-severe, at least that's certainly good news, stretches from the Fond du Lac area back through Madison into southwest Wisconsin. Even a little bit of reformation of thunderstorms between Prairie du Chien up towards Richland Center. Not expecting those storms to become severe, but they just add the continuation of that heavy rainfall. Future track takes the showers and thunderstorms and eventually diminishes the activity as we head towards the 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning time frame, which would be good news because we do not need any more rainfall in parts of southern Wisconsin. If you do encounter any roadways that are covered with water, turn around, don't drown. You do not know if those roadways have been washed out, so it's best to find an alternative route. Coming up in Maine weather, we will track additional shower and thunderstorm chances along with the continuation of heavy rain.
All right, Alex, thank you. And reports are coming in from around the state of roads that buckled due to the extreme heat from over the weekend. Here's one of those incidents. This is near Lambeau Field in Ashwaubenon. Meanwhile, the Iowa County Sheriff's Office urging people to use caution along Highway 151 after pavement buckled there. A sergeant at the scene reporting over 20 cars with flat tires in that area. Highway crews were on scene to repair the road. And track the heat and storms for yourself with our First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners. We'll update you on those road conditions, including buckling, as well as radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
The Woodman's grocery store on Madison's east side was evacuated earlier tonight. The Madison Fire Department says the Milwaukee Street location's roof collapsed. It's unknown what caused the incident. No injuries have been reported. We will be sure to keep you up to date both on air and online when more information is released. Iran fired back at U.S. bases in Qatar earlier today after B-2 bombers destroyed the Islamic country's nuclear facilities.
Well, this has President Trump announced a ceasefire in the Israeli-Iranian conflict. Erica Brown now with more.
Just 48 hours after the U.S. dispatched B-2 bombers to destroy 3 nuclear sites in Iran, comes word from President Trump of a ceasefire agreement, which he says will bring an end to the conflict between Israel and Iran. In a social media post, the president outlined the plan, saying it has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire. And upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. The president's announcement comes hours after Iran launched a retaliatory missile attack on a U.S. military base in Qatar on Monday in response to the U.S. strikes on Iran over the weekend. The president also said Iran gave advanced notice of the strikes and there were no reported casualties. In a series of posts on Truth Social, President Trump said most of the Iranian missiles had been downed, and he suggested the conflict may be over. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers remain divided over the weekend strikes on Iran and the U.S.'s role in the conflict. On social media, Republican Thomas Massey of Kentucky wrote, "Under the War Powers Act, the president is required to withdraw from hostilities in Iran within 60 days, unless he gets a vote of Congress." Others are standing by the president's decision.
Given the situation that we're looking at right now, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the president and the administration.
The Trump administration insists that airstrikes on Iran were carried out to make certain Iran does not obtain nuclear weapons. They say it was not about forcing a regime change in Iran. Members of Congress are expected to be briefed about the conflict Tuesday. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
And amid the conflict, President Trump is calling strikes against Iranian nuclear sites a, quote, tremendous success.
But as our Maddie Heimsch reports, those with loved ones in the Middle East say success is the last thing on their minds.
I think a lot of people like me, they carry a lot of guilt.
A PhD student and teaching assistant at UW-Madison, Tahereh Rahimi came to the United States from Iran in 2018. But much of her family still lives in and around Iran's capital and most populous city, Tehran.
Even at the moment that I'm talking with you, who knows what's happening to my friends and family back home. So that's something that hurts a lot.
Rahimi says while she's safe in the U.S., her family in and around Tehran know that whether they stay or flee somewhere less dense, anywhere in Iran could become the next target.
There is not, a place that one can be 100% sure, that they are safe.
Rahimi says for her parents, cousins, and friends, death feels palpable.
Another cousin that told me she woke up last night because of the sound of explosion and bombs. And she said, I was thinking, should I stay up or should I go back to sleep? And she finally decided it's better for me to be sleeping when I am getting killed.
And for her, a feeling of responsibility is even stronger.
We are paying tax here, and our money is, used to bomb our home country. And I think that's a very collective sadness.
Military history professor John Hall says the conflict has been most damaging for Iranians.
They have suffered far graver losses than they have inflicted on either Israel or the United States.
But Rahimi says she would give up her own safety to be on the other side of that damage with her family.
If I had an option, I've been there right now.
I just received a message from Rahimi detailing more conversations she's had with her family just this evening. She writes, quote, "It feels like everything I care about is dying right in front of my eyes, and I can't do anything, not even save a single one of them."
Maddie, thank you. And our thoughts, of course, are with her family as well. Madison Police Department seeking the public's help in finding a man wanted for a June shooting. Jamel Grant Amos is wanted for a June 11th drive-by shooting outside a store on Milwaukee Street. According to police, Grant Amos shot another 22-year-old man multiple times. Shell casings were found at the scene. 2 guns were recovered as part of an investigation. The victim's injuries are not considered life-threatening. If you have any information on Grant Amos's whereabouts, you're asked to contact Madison Police. A man facing multiple charges after a drug-growing operation was uncovered at a Whitewater home. Last Thursday, the Walworth County Drug Enforcement Unit searched a home near Whitewater Elementary School as part of an investigation into alleged drug sales. And during the search, officers allegedly found cocaine, DMT, psychedelic mushrooms, a gun, and more. A large mushroom growing operation was also found in the home's basement. Giovanni Ramirez Mendoza was arrested. He's facing several charges, including possession with intent to deliver designer drugs and possessing a firearm as a convicted felon.
Sauk County residents are at risk of having their major publicly funded nursing home close its doors. The county board had initially pursued an agreement to lease the nursing home to a Milwaukee operator. However, the operator backed out of those negotiations, according to an email from the county clerk and reported by the Reedsburg Times-Press. Now, that could culminate in a county board vote Thursday on whether to close the nursing home.
I mean, that's up for the board to decide on. Thursday. But I do know that if we go that path, it's not an overnight process, and we have to find a way to safely protect those residents and figure out how we're going to handle them.
There is an open dispute over whether the county can afford to keep that facility open, but closing it could create a shortage in the county.
So to come at 10, Alex tells us about the heavy rain moving through the region right now.
And growing Hometown USA. What's behind the recent population boom in Verona? That's up next.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. It's hard to forget Verona is labeled Hometown USA. It's on so many street names, businesses, and more.
But is the city outgrowing its hometown name? Arman Rahman went to residents and city leaders to dig in what's behind the epic population growth and where it could grow in the future.
It may be Hometown USA, but for Ken Benke, it's just been home.
And I'm still here. So now we're into the 7th generation with 2 of my grandchildren who live in the area.
He's one of many residents whose roots have continued digging into Verona soil.
I live on what was my parents' and paternal grandparents' farm. So I'm really in the heart of my Hometown USA background.
But his Hometown USA has grown before his eyes.
When I was little, the population sign said 748.
Now, more than 16,000. In the past 10 years, 3,400 more people moved into the city, and city planners projected to keep growing 2 to 5% each year through 2050. So what's the miracle grow?
Can't forget Epic.
You can't deny what Epic brings into the city, right?
Campus has definitely gotten a lot bigger.
For the past 10 years, software developer Caleb Cox has seen Epic become its own little hometown within Hometown USA.
It really does feel like you have a sense of community within campus, in spite of being here with nearly 13,000 other people.
According to sales executive Leila Vaughn, Epic has grown by 4,000 staff the past 5 years, adding a 6th campus.
And the reason we're building this campus is we still have a fair number of staff who are doubled up in offices today.
And there's a reason why Epic has grown out, not up.
People will walk up 3 flights, but they won't walk any further. And the whole point of our campus is for staff to interact with each other and do so as they need to, so impromptu.
But all those new Hometown USA residents will need homes.
There are quite a number of Epic employees settling down in Verona. Single, married.
Ken's a hometown guy in a lot of ways. He sells homes in town as a realtor with First Weber Real Estate Services.
We get high demand for our homes in Verona from people moving from Madison.
He says there are 24 homes available right now in the city, many not under $500,000. Most people who work in Verona, though, live outside the city. About half of the people who moved in the past 10 years are renters.
Rents are not cheap either. So it's not really a good situation all around for people trying to get into the real estate market.
Growing pains, City Council President Mara Helmke says, are partially a good sign.
The price of growth is growth, right?
She says more developments are in the works, including affordable housing on Edge Trail, condos on Enterprise Drive, and townhomes west of County Highway M.
What we're also trying to do here in Verona is create neighborhoods that aren't just a certain type of housing or people that live there.
Ken says even though this remains the hometown to many older residents, home sometimes has to change and the town is not always keeping up.
Seniors who want to downsize or need to move because they can no longer handle a 2-story home situation. And so Verona is lacking in homes, 1-story homes.
Helmke says they've added an assistant director and more case management to the senior center in town. The city's also converting the old library on North Franklin Street, which has been used by Redeemer Church, into a community center.
There aren't a lot of affordable spaces in Verona where you can bring a community together.
While Ken says Verona can't afford to outgrow that community identity, he's optimistic his hometown might have to look a bit different to remain Hometown USA.
As a realtor, I see the happiness when people purchase a home in Verona. I'm more than willing to share the community with them and hope that they also will feel that it is their Hometown USA.
Reporting in Verona, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
Well, I can attest it was raining hard tonight in hometown USA. Alex is tracking the heavy rain across southern Wisconsin.
Heavy rain indeed, and still humid out there across southern Wisconsin. That is the recipe for heavy rainfall, between 1 and 4 inches estimated by radar, though we're getting viewers posting on our social media website verifying the 4 inches of rain in pockets of southern Wisconsin. We still have flash flood warnings for the west part of Dane County, right down along 151 down to Platteville. 11:30 p.m. Dane, Iowa counties. This is observed flash flooding. In Grant County, this is estimated, or I should say radar indicated, till 10:45. This means flash flooding is either occurring now or will soon occur. 4.5 inches estimated between Platteville and Elk Grove. We go up 151 as I was showing in first weather here. These impressive amounts of water over a very short period of time, just a couple hours. 4 inches near the Barneville area going along 151. We were just talking about Verona and Epic. Around 3 to 4 inches of rain have fallen. And as we take a look at radar 3000, a lot of moderate rain to heavy rain still over southwest Wisconsin. Even a little bit of what we call backbuilding, some additional thunderstorms between Prairie du Chien up towards Wisconsin Dells. And these are non-severe thunderstorms, and they're forming because we have warm, humid air lifting up over the front, causing a few more storms to develop. And what that's going to do is just add continuation of that water. Future track, though, showing the widespread showers and storms eventually starting to fizzle as we get into the early morning hours of Tuesday. But we still probably have at least another 2 hours or so of moderate to heavy rainfall across much of southern Wisconsin. You want to turn around, don't drown. I know that saying sometimes has a tendency to get people to comment, but it really is true. It only takes a few inches of water. Take your car and get it to go off the road, and you don't know what's underneath that water. That road could be completely washed out. Good rain chances all the way through the end of the week. This is not it. We have good rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, going on into Thursday. Here's those showers and storms into the early morning hours, perhaps a little break right around 6 o'clock in the morning. As we go into the afternoon on Tuesday, a couple more scattered thunderstorms popping up just about anywhere in southern Wisconsin. Maybe a break Tuesday night, but as we head towards Wednesday morning, couple scattered storms and concerts on the square as we go to Wednesday evening. Look at this, widespread to scattered to widespread thunderstorms as we head towards that important time frame Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and then we repeat that again on Thursday. We can't rule out a couple of strong storms, flooding rains, gusty winds. That would be the main threats for storms all week long. So a bit of a recap. Storms are weakening, but the heavy rain threat continues tonight. We will keep daily storm chances through Thursday. 1 to 3 inches of additional rain are expected this week, and that is just an overall estimate. We could have some localized areas with higher amounts possible with the continuation of more rain as we head towards the end of the 7-day period, as we head out towards Sunday. And that very likely will end the train of weather events over the course of this week. Next week, it looks like we're going to stay seasonably warm for this time of year and drying out.
And not as hot and humid as now.
Not as hot and humid as now. I've been having to fan myself. It is
right,
warm.
It is, exactly.
Yes.
Going with that rain to cool off the Brewers. They've been hot.
No, yeah, especially Christian Yelich. You got to, when he's in the batter's box, maybe the opponents need to go like that.
Lately.
You know, coming up in sports, Yelich been on fire with that bat. Why he needed a couple more RBI tonight to send the home team home happy, though. That's next on News 3 Now. All the stars were out at Blackhawk Country Club for the 3rd annual Badger Challenge Celebrity Scramble, and we're talking Luke Fickell, Mark Johnson, Bo Ryan, Chris Bono, and others, all showing off their skills on the links for a good cause. In the first 2 years, they've raised over $250,000 to help fund cancer research at the UW Carbone Cancer Center. And no matter how good at golf they are, being a part of this was an easy decision.
Quite frankly, obviously, the Carbone Center, I don't know if there's a more important need and cause in our community right now than the Carbone Center and what they've done and how they've made themselves one of the world's experts in cancer research and treatment. It's the right thing to do. It's the obvious thing to do.
That's what it's all about right there, obviously giving back. And, you know, you don't have a ton of time, but when you have an opportunity to do things like this and spend time around these guys that have been here and done that, and then obviously for the charity.
Christian Yelich and the Brewers opening up a 3-game series with the Pirates, and nobody has been hotter at the plate than Yelich. 5th inning, they're down 4-2, and Yelich changes that with one big swing. The 2-run bomb, part of a 12 RBI stretch in his last 4 games for him. Now that ties it at 4, but the Pirates would break the tie in the 6th and win it. Brewers fall 5-4, the final. Well, we're less than 24 hours away from this year's PWHL draft, and all signs are pointing to a former Badger to be taken first overall. Casey O'Brien is projected to be a high first-round selection, and she checks all the boxes on the ice. The reigning Patty Kazmaier Award winner won 3 national championships during her time in Madison and is the program's all-time leading scorer. Well, with about 5 minutes left in the first quarter of last night's Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Tyrese Halliburton went down and the fears for Pacer fans were confirmed. The Oshkosh native suffered a torn right Achilles and is expected to miss all of next season. It's a heartbreaking ending to a postseason run where he came up huge for Indiana night in and night out.
What happened with Tyrese is just all of our hearts dropped. But he will be back. He authored one of the great individual playoff runs in the history of the NBA. With dramatic play after dramatic play, it was just something that no one's ever seen.
And that's it for sports. Alex is back with one last look at your forecast after this.
Tonight, the plan was carried out by 7 B-2 stealth bombers. I'm told we have a picture of the stealth planes. Wow, they are good.
CBS Tonight. Milwaukee firefighters made an unusual rescue over the weekend. They were at the scene of a house fire. This was on Saturday. No one was home at the time, but firefighters did find a small alligator in the basement. This is in Milwaukee, folks. An alligator in the basement of a home.
And he walks out casually. Firefighters handed the 3-foot gator, so small, off to animal control for care. And they say the reptile is female. No other details about the animal were given. We all talked about it in the newsroom, probably a pet alligator.
Yeah, exactly. Every once in a while, people want something different for the house pet.
To each their own.
I don't know about that in Wisconsin, but it's tropical out there these last few days.
Florida.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and with that, heavy rainfall in all seriousness continues as we look at radar 3000 with flash flood warnings in Iowa, Grant, and parts of Dane County. Still looking at moderate to heavy rainfall and maybe upwards of an inch of water yet that we're going to see out of this band of showers and thunderstorms that will move through the area, and more storm chances all the way through Thursday.
All right, Alex, thanks. Thanks for joining us. The Stephen Colbert Show is coming your way next.
And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10. The morning show is up next tomorrow.